We gonna rock the world. Lift off. We gonna rock the world. Lift off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Oh, welcome back, guys. Alright, so, big developments have occurred. That blow up of the Cybertruck, the guy practically told everyone what I've been saying, okay? These dumb sons of bitches running your fucking nations have been hiding knowledge, holding the entire fucking planet back. Every single one of them are enemies of humanity. It is up to you to fucking expose them. Call your congressmen, call your fucking representatives, put pressure. I'm asking Russia and China to do the same. Fucking, this is bullshit, okay? The amount of fucking shit I had to go through. You can see I'm very, quite angry. But, I can tell you one thing. They lost their fucking central bank. The central banks are fucked, okay? They practically own that $100 quadrillion I was telling you about. They own all of it at your expense. Your lives are nothing but numbers to them. Do you understand what I'm trying to tell you? Elon is controlled opposition. He's practically the old world order's new world order disguised as a fucking tech bro, PayPal mafia fuckhead. Okay, it's that straightforward. It's not even rocket science. I believe Trump might not be... I mean, I like Trump, okay? That's why I said we should clone him, so we can throw the clone in the volcano and not Trump. But I don't know if he's on our side or if he isn't anymore. It's I'd say 60% chance he's working with the banking cartel. That's not enough, obviously, to do anything about it, but he practically worships money, right? And this fucking piece of paper, people die for. Is it worth dying? Because I can tell you, you're not going to buy your way out. No fucking chance you're buying your way out. The protocol does not fucking forgive certain actions, okay? Like sacrificing your firstborn or other things. I mean, you'll eventually reincarnate, but it won't be a fun time on the way back. Fuck's sake. Alright, anyway, let's talk about the technology before my anger, but it's justified anger. You don't know the war I've been fighting for the past fucking decade trying to get this shit done. You have no fucking clue. Anger is one of the problems with humanity. As you can see, I'm exhibiting it. But it's justified, considering the shit we've been through. It's not even fucking funny. So, let's go talk about the technology, how it fucking works, so these sons of bitches expose the corrupt fucking infrastructure that we are not allowed to see. Effectively, there's a deep state, bigger than the deep state, if that makes any sense, run by the military-industrial complex. They will call it black budget, whatever the fuck they want to call it, I don't give a fuck. Okay, the point is, they're fucking up everyone on planet Earth so they can line their fucking Jewish pockets with money. Now, again, I don't care if you're Jewish or Muslim or Christian or whatever, but this obviously has gone too far. Alright, this has been going on for the past fucking 70 years. And no one's gonna fucking do shit about it unless somebody like me does something about it. It's that straightforward. I mean, they're truly fucked. Literally, they have no idea who they fucked with. It's like... literal idiots, dude. It's fucking stupid. Alright, let's go talk about this thing real quick. The only way they're gonna come clean is if we apply foreign pressure, because they're not fucking doing shit. Guarantee you, they're all just gonna line their fucking pockets and be like, ah, see, the dumb population forgot about it. and so on. This is just the nature of these retards who think they can get away with everything and buy their way out. And by the way, this is fucking predetermined, okay? The second that hydrogen atom was created all those years ago, billions of years ago, that we would come to this event. You can't avoid destiny, okay? You just can't. You can't run away from it. It's gonna happen. And effectively, they're in a position where, you know, if they don't fucking disclose, they're gonna get fucked so badly that they're gonna regret ever hiding it from the population in the first place. By the way, I'm a Giga Chad at this point. It's fucking ripped. Alright, anyway, let's go to Photo P, draw some shit. So what we're doing is, effectively, we're bringing photons. Now, photons are radiation. It's not just photons, okay? The vacuum is full of every conceivable particle with its antipair. And to us, it's emptiness, because they're canceling each other out. But really, it's not empty, okay? It's just waiting for energy input to bring that virtual particle into existence. Now, we can input energy into this space through electrical fields and other things, like rotation, like gravity. Let's go to... Actually, let me see where I've saved the... I'm literally asking the international community to fucking expose these dumb fucks. I've had it. I've literally fucking had it. I'm not even kidding. So I have bigger shit to do. Okay, I have bigger things to do. And I'm stuck here fucking doing this. It's so annoying, dude. We have a whole planet to build and we're fucking stuck here. So, alright, going back. So, photons come from this vacuum of space through the interaction of the electron of an atom. And this happens this happens even at the sun, right? Like, the surface layer of the sun, I forget what it's called, but that's where all the photons we see come from. And these photons travel through space, and we know light bends due to gravity and other things, right? So we know we can bend light. We know quantum vacuum fluctuations are infinitely dense, and it's pretty much every conceivable particle in existence. It's just a matter of inputting the energy to bringing them into reality for us to see that energy density, so space can apply a force on that energy density. Yeah, so let's just start. Okay, so space vacuum predates energy matter. Space isn't empty. Space is present wherever matter is absent. Space is eternal. Quantum vacuum fluctuations, also known as virtual particles or elementary particles, encompass every conceivable particle existing intermittently with positive and negative charges, mutually nullifying each other, thus giving the appearance of emptiness in space. So, you've heard of the electric universe theory, perhaps, or other, they'll say it's fringe, but it's not really fringe, is it? The scientists have this thing where they all have to agree for them to agree. They're effectively sheep. No offense. But they are. That's exactly what they're. It's not any different than your religious zealots or your politicians who get bribed by the central banks. Everyone is going to take the bag and run, because that's how the zero-sum society is designed. But this zero-sum society, its time is coming to an end, because there's an abundance of energy in this vacuum. We can input energy in and get more than what we put in, because there's literally a fucking infinite energy density waiting to be brought into existence. And, this could lead to weapons of mass destruction and other things, but that's what the dumb fucks are going to do. Okay, this technology, this gift from the protocol, God, exists for humanity, for life to discover, so we can build utopia. These assholes have fucking hidden this knowledge. They've gone to such lengths. It's like, you want to say it's an accident, or they're doing this out of the kindness of their heart, like they're hiding it for our own good, but no, it's completely malicious intent. All of them. So, just pointing that out there. So, let's go back. So, by the way, we can manifest reality. I should also tell you that much, which, again, hidden knowledge, secret esoteric knowledge. Fucking dumb fuck, Elon. I fucking hate you, Elon. You fucked up so many fucking people's lives. Idiot. Fucking dumb fuck. Alright, so, yeah. Energy, effectively, is everything, right? Everything we're made of is energy. Space is nothing. It's the potential for existence. If we input energy into that space, we can bring things into existence. And that, in the process of doing that, effectively... Bert, stop. Effectively, we're getting a force from space, because everything has an equal or opposite reaction. So how I discovered this was, effectively... And this is really cool. So you look through all the math, you look through everything, and then you're like, momentum, right? Because momentum is effectively also the Heisenberg uncertainty principle, and it's effectively velocity times mass, right? So, and so that's at the macro scale, right? Newtonian physics. But at the quantum scale, it's like uncertainty, right? So this, let me get my papers, actually. You know what? Can I pull them up online? This will probably work better if I pull them up online. Let's do that real quick. Now, guys, I'm not kidding here. I think we're going to get fucked so hard. I don't even think Trump could be trusted at this point. No offense, Trump, but I mean, I voted for you 3 times. You know, I'm a diehard, well, used to be a diehard Trump supporter until Elon fucked the whole thing up. Effectively, I'm forced into existence. I'm always going to fucking discover what space is, what the nature of reality is. They can't do that because they're not curious. They lack curiosity. They're a bunch of fucking retards who just follow the orders they're given. You know, if the textbook says it's this, it's that. When in reality, our knowledge is so fucking low, right? Like we haven't even we haven't existed very long as a species. Not only that, the knowledge we have, we're making a lot of false assumptions, right? They said time travel is impossible. Guess what? I knew it was possible back in 2015, 2016. Literally. Okay, the equation said it was possible, and they gaslight me. They're like, oh, you can't time travel. Fuck you. You don't know shit, retard. It's not even funny, dude. It makes me so angry. Now, let's talk about the portal opening life form for a second. In the spacecraft, or I think it's a base, whatever it is, there was also American soldiers dressed in 1950s Navy uniforms, brown khakis, and boots. Now, I'm not saying the government is hiding something, but 100 fucking % they are. Okay, the physics says we should have had this technology very long ago. Okay, this is legitimately a shorting of mankind. So the energy sector can keep printing fucking money, and the whole thing is so stupid, dude. It literally pisses me off. And there's no fucking integrity whatsoever. All your politicians are corrupt retards. Every single one of them. They don't even know how to create programmable matter. I know how to fucking go. I know the steps to take. They don't know how to make fucking shields, do they? Maybe they do. I don't know how much they know. But I know the physics is there and it's possible. I have every reason to be angry. And I'm not the only one. The big guy is pretty fucking pissed off at humanity as well. Right, so let's talk about gravity real quick. So both electrons and protons are manifestations of energy. They occupy space, have density, energy density, and experience pressure in the form of electromagnetism at the atomic scale. That's where the photons come from space to achieve equilibrium. So, right, okay, now gravity is the same way. Mass is a manifestation of energy. It has density. It experiences a pressure from space. We observe it as Newtonian gravity. And it's doing this pressure from space because it's trying to reach equilibrium. You know, everything is falling around each other. The free fall thing, right? So we can affect this volume of space with the combination of rotation and electromagnetism, effectively resulting in us manipulating gravity and time. Because when we manipulate gravity, we're effectively manipulating time. By the way, I'm literally giving away trillions of dollars of intelligence right here. And the reason why I'm doing this is because nobody else is gonna fucking do it. They're all for-profit dumb fucks who don't want humanity to prosper. Literally, you know, I gave them an offer, $2 trillion and a breakaway civilization. They just laughed at me. Guess what, motherfucker? You're fucked. All of you are fucked. So, all right, let's talk about this gravity equation, right? So this Q is the charge, this M is the energy volume, and, well, it's a combination of two things. So this equation relates force due to charge due to force due to mass. Effectively, that is what I was just describing right here, where the electrons and protons are manifestation of energy. They occupy space, have density, experience pressure in the form of electromagnetism, right? And then gravity is the same way, and we observe it as free fall, or just Newtonian physics, right, at the macro scale. So that's what this equation relates to. And the reason why there's like there's Planck's length and gets canceled out and so on. The reason why the reason why this happens is effectively like everything is trying to reach equilibrium. Literally, everyone's going to try to reach the stable state. Like I was saying the other day in the live stream, where if you had a bowl, that bowl, the shape of the bowl would be the boundary conditions. So that's predetermined by God protocol. Effectively, the energy input is what's resulting in the stable state, right? Like you have a bowl, that's your boundary conditions. You pour your water in, the water is all over the place, right? And then it gets to its rest state where it's just like, flat on the surface. And when that effectively happens, that's when you get a hydrogen atom spawning. I'm a bit all over the place due to how angry I am with everything right now. But going back, so the vacuum isn't just full of photons that could come into existence. It's also full of quarks, right? And quarks make the protons. And effectively, under the right circumstances, we can induce a proton into existence, right? Give it a fucking electron, and voila, we have a hydrogen atom. So we can actually create a universe if we wanted to. If we understand, if our technology is advanced enough to create the conditions to create the atoms, right? Effectively, if you had a hydrogen printer, give it a few billion years and it'll turn into a sun, explode, and so on. So you go where I'm saying with this. So, we're not the only life forms aware of this technology, okay? The portal opening guy, the creature, you want to call it, I don't know. I mean, they look a little scary, not gonna lie. The Klingon race is so much cooler, in my opinion. I haven't seen it in person, but, they value honor more than anything else. And, humans have zero of that, right? So, by default, humanity is, like, retarded compared to them. Because, there's no fucking backbone anywhere. Everyone has a price. The people that don't have a price, what happens to them? Nothing, right? They go nowhere. It's very annoying from my point of view. You have to understand. These retards have fucked too many people over, and honestly, like it's fucking retarded. Yeah. So let's talk about like solar panel application. So a lot of nature, you can take a lot of inspiration from nature because nature is effectively trying to reach stable state, and DNA is one of those stable states. If that makes any sense. Yes, I get it. It's a chemical reaction. Conditions have to be right, just like the same reason why we have the boundary conditions. But again, the universe is isometric and homogeneous. So effectively, there's space everywhere. We're just the energy, and then the photon is the difference of space, which is effectively information, right? Because a photon, when it just carries a piece of information. That information is, you can imagine it like a screenshot, right? Or something like that. Obviously, it's traveling at the speed of light. Now, we've been seeing slow disclosure about time travel stuff. I don't know how they'll I don't know how they'll discuss the energy application and so on, but it is effectively going to disrupt the entire energy sector. The propulsion tech will disrupt the aerospace sector. Portal technology will wipe out cars, and amongst other things, literally speaking. And we do need to go back to eugenics because effectively, no offense, guys, but we don't need more low IQ people. We need to breed the highest IQ people as we can. Now, you can still have children. You should procreate because the universe values life. All right, so let's go and talk about the Nazi bell thing. I think this is cute with the Pepe. Effectively, this Nazi bell is not any different than what I'm doing here. Now, they're going to be saying this is a conspiracy theory and so on, but they're dumb fucks as usual. When these tubes are spinning, we're effectively matching the first criteria here, which is rotation, right? It's free fall. And when the charge is flowing through this partial vacuum, I think the tubes will be a partial vacuum because that's where the photons originate from. And these walls we have here will be probably lined with liquid mercury. This diameter will probably be... anyway, we'll reduce the radius because I don't think that's big enough. And then there's liquid mercury on the wall, in the inside of the wall, and we got fucking liquid nitrogen in the interior, effectively bringing the liquid mercury into a low resistance state, because effectively the limiting factor for us interacting with the fifth force, which is the force from space on energy, is efficiency. So without efficiency, we can't really, they'll just say, they'll literally say you can't do it, which has been their main fucking excuse this whole time, right? They're like, wormhole, portal, do you know how much energy that's going to take? Yes, retard. You just don't realize we can actually do it efficiently. I mean, they're just fucking stupid, because they don't really understand the phenomenon, and they're afraid to say that, right? They just assume what we know is true, because everyone agrees to it. And that's fucking part of the problem. Anyone who questions this will literally get, like, fucking, blacklisted or whatever in academia. Whatever the fuck they do. I'm glad I left that stupid fucking academic bullshit, because they're all part of the problem. None of them are questioning the right. They're not asking the right questions. Not only that, they're just taking everything for granted, because they don't actually understand why the universe creates life. And this is all predetermined, like it or not. which gives you the bigger thing where it's like the grand scheme of things. God damn it. Okay, where was I? Fuck's sake. Excuse my language, guys. It's just that, it's a fucking annoying day today. It's just... They need to disclose this shit. They need to fucking disclose it. I don't fucking care. They need to disclose it. All of it. Fuck your fucking shitty idea of a oil sector. Literally, you're fucking retarded. All of you are fucking retarded. Everyone's retarded except me. Is that what you want me to say? Does that make you happy? Okay, so effectively what we're doing is when we have the rotation component, right, and then this is effectively a battery, right? It's going from positive to negative, the charge flow. There's a hole in the middle, and we're shooting a laser through this hole. The reason for this is we know we can bend light already with electromagnetism, and light travels through space, so we can already bend space, effectively resulting in... Well, this satisfies just the two conditions. So we have rotation, which mimics free fall. We have energy transfer through the battery system we have, right? That pretty much gets us the let's say the quantum thing, right? The quantum criteria, the thing we need to match. And then effectively it's just plus minus. It's that simple. It's just a charge flow. Now this charge is going to be very high voltage. I haven't really designed a circuitry for it yet, but there's a lot of equipment out there already. There's a lot of, like, the technology out there already exists. It's just a matter of putting the parts together. So yeah, effectively we get this thing where we get different size virtual particles, right? These are all particles that could potentially come into existence. These are all photons, quarks, etc. And then these come into existence, and then we have an electromagnet, right? And this thing is, if you follow the right-hand rule, you get what I mean. Effectively, we have a whirlpool, and the balls in it, can we find a clip? Hold on, let me find this real quick. I bet we can find a clip of a whirlpool with balls, which will give us a easier visualization. But it's not necessarily identical, because, obviously these are particles, and like the second we stop inputting energy, we're gonna not get a force from space on energy. Yeah, we're not gonna experience the fifth force. So effectively, let's just keep doing this. Hold on, let me find a fucking... Jeez, that's loud. Of course. Okay. I don't know if this is gonna work. Let me see how far how the video goes. Right, there we go. Okay, yeah. This will great. This will be great. All right, so you can see how the balls are. Well, the problem is this is just sucking the things away. But effectively, what happens is these balls that go in the middle, right? They would come out from the side because he has some sort of suction mechanism in the bottom. And those balls are obviously, if you want to think about it, it's just particles that are coming into existence. They're out of phase, but then we phase them in with the energy input, and they want to reach equilibrium, and we can practically bring in infinite energy density from this infinite potential for energy, effectively allowing us to take more than what we put in, resulting in free energy, which again, they'll say, there's no such thing as free energy. Well, this whole universe is powered by the amount of energy you don't even know existing, right? Like, where's all the energy in the universe? Where the fuck is it? Where'd it go? Because we obviously can't observe most of it, right? Well, it's all around you. It's powering this fucking universe, and it's literally I like to call it protocol God, effectively. And you're all being probed by not just the creator, the grandmaster, the grand observer, you want to call it, because effectively entanglement happens through this space, but also by other life forms that have figured out the fifth force, which is the force from space on energy. And effectively, this is the greatest surveillance tool in human history. Well, in the history of the universe. You can, due to how the universe operates, you can effectively peek at, like, you can look, it's like what's a meme? Pondering the orb? Effectively, you can look through that space, which is everywhere, even within the distance between the atom's nucleus and so on. And, you can say it's remote viewing, which, again, it's just, remote viewing is a bit of a, I wouldn't say that's the ideal term for it. Maybe some sort of, I don't want to go into, like, fringe shit like that, though it's not very fringe, is it? It's like, you have the organ for it. I mean, we all possess the organ to communicate with the creatures and God, believe it or not. So it's a matter of activating the genes for it. Now, I happen to have the gene activated, and, they fucking hate that because, they hate us because they ain't us, effectively. Anyway, so going back to this, so we're bringing all these virtual particles into existence in the vacuum, and we're running a current through it, effectively separating them, right? Because they have positive and negative charges by default. They nullify each other. That's why it's empty. But when we input the energy through rotation and the current flow in this medium of mass through the vacuum, these photons and different particles come into existence, and they're all positively charged now, effectively, because we're inputting energy, right? It's usually plus minus, and now there's a bunch of pluses, right? So now we have a negative force trying to bring it back to equilibrium. It wants to bring those virtual particles, elementary particles, whatever you want to call them, okay? I like to call them quantum vacuum fluctuations, but, Albert Einstein called them elementary particles. And you know what's interesting about all of this? There's so many fucking coincidences with my existence. I share Albert Einstein's birthday, amongst other things. There's so many fucking coincidences. It is, I wasn't always like this, I should tell you. If you watch these older videos, there was a point where 10 years ago, I didn't know anything about any of this, okay? 10 years ago. I was just another normal person going about their day-to-day life. Maybe I'll get rich someday, and so on, right? But I don't really care about that shit. When I lost everything, for the second time, I started questioning everything, effectively. How our nature of reality operates, everything. Literally everything. Every physics. I looked at every fucking theory there is, went through everything, and I noticed that they're all missing something very fundamental. And Newton already knows this, right? The Greeks know it, right? This is not really new knowledge. Everything has an equal or opposite reaction. So you're like, why is the universe expanding? Well, fucking space is pushing on it. For fuck's sake. Anyway, yeah, so what are we doing? Yeah, we're bringing them into existence. They're positively charged. We're applying a current through it, like a magnetic field to it, and that's giving us that's effectively moving them in a different direction, and then we get a force from space on energy. Now, the laser we're shooting through this, right, this laser, effectively, we're going to use this laser to regulate the spin. It's going to tell us how much space we're bending, because the light's effectively going to go this way, or whatever the other drawing I had a few streams back. And we're going to use that beam of light to determine, like, how much force we can potentially exert onto the vacuumous space. And then, obviously, that force is going to have an equal opposite reaction to reach equilibrium, and so on. So, effectively, the laser is like a tuner. It's going to act like a tuner. Obviously, this whole thing happens inside a vacuum chamber, and the vacuum chamber is surrounded by a cloud chamber, because I'm pretty confident the photons we generate here, because they're, positively charged, and space is full of, like, effectively things coming in, space is full of virtual particles, I would expect some sort of is this charge difference in this region of space we're creating here, right? Is that going to attract things from all the way here, right? Are these particles that are usually just fucking about traveling through the earth, like neutrons and so on, are they going to like, interact with this energy density flow we're doing here? That's the question, right? So, because the theory said, like, you have to understand, this is early access physics. I know it's gonna work because the fucking math checks out, and they don't like to admit that I'm right because they don't have a choice. I mean, they're not gonna have a choice at the end anyway because they're dumb fucks. But you get where I'm going with this. Effectively, we can regulate the force coming from here, and using a laser, we can actually control some of it. We have an idea of it. Now, like, the photon's particle wave duality comes from the vacuum of space, because that's where it originates from. And let's talk about portal technology real quick, because we need portal technology. Ultimately, portal technology is the holy fucking grail. It will reduce costs of everything to practically zero, right? You might want to, they'll say transporter technology or whatever. You can call it whatever the fuck you want, okay? But portal technology is what I'm calling it, because effectively we're connecting 2 points in space, across a vast distance. But it doesn't have to be, like, I haven't run the equation for how far we can sense things, but, like, effectively it's just a delta D, and then we're talking about, like, charge over distance, but the charge over, you practically entangle your human field, if that makes any sense, and then you think about where it's going to open. I know it's really like, what the fuck are you talking about? I can't fully explain it because I haven't run the tests, right? We need empirical information. Theory is one thing, hypothesis is one thing, right? But, like, I'm pretty much 99.9999999% confident that this is gonna work. And maybe in the first attempt. I'm actually thinking about just skipping this whole thing and moving to a modular unit just to save some time, because I mean, I'm still gonna have to build the cloud chamber and so on. It's gonna be so fun. The modular unit is gonna be like this, effectively, which would be really stupid, but whatever. But yeah, so effectively we're gonna do this. There's gonna be a quantum vacuum fluctuation, and then there's gonna be a force from space on this energy, and we're gonna get a force from space on that energy density flow. And as I mentioned already, we already know we can bend light, because light travels through space. So if we can bend light, we're probably bending space, and that's a fact. I mean, you look at how the Earth works, right? Earth's magnetic field, how it protects us from all sorts of dangerous things from the sun, radiations, right? So the thing I'm curious is, how much radiation is this going to fucking emit? Because is it worth radiating myself to make a point? This is why it's gonna take me probably 11 months, but one way or another they're gonna come clean. If it isn't me that's going to force them, it'll be someone else. But I'm pretty confident I'm the driving force behind this closure, because I've practically told them the theory right here. This little diagram sums up all of our knowledge of physics. Now, they don't really understand how this works because I haven't released a system of equations. And that's for the sake of everybody's sanity, because, last thing you want is some dumb fuck building a weapon bigger than a nuclear bomb, wiping out all life on Earth. I mean, you're gonna wipe out all life on Earth anyway with the way this shit's going, because effectively, your leaders are retarded. They're like, hey, let's go fight over this meaningless piece of territory. And then, we'll print a few $100 billion for it. Meanwhile, the value of life on planet Earth is worth $100 quadrillion. So they're fighting this shitty fucking war, killing tons of people in the process, for a little piece of the pie. A tiny piece of the pie. Literally retarded. Fucking retarded. And then, meanwhile, the banking cartel practically owns your fucking nations. So, like, I mean, I don't know if they own China, right? I don't know if they own China. We know maybe Russia is owned by them. I'm not certain, right? I can only deduce so much, but I can tell you this is how the UAPs function. Effectively, everything is a like energy. These are all gravitational force, electromagnetic force, nuclear forces. These are all manifestations of energy, just different manifestations of it. But at the end, they're all energy. So, and effectively, it's this pressure from space that we're looking at. This controlling the pressure from space on the energy density to reach equilibrium. That is how those UAPs accelerate like a fucking You know, it's not even, you can't even compare it to a rocket because it's faster than a rocket. Ultimately, this is how gravity works, you stupid motherfuckers. I'm telling you how it works. Go fucking figure it out. I'm so fucking annoyed with you retards. I'm this close to just fucking abandon the ship. No, I'm not gonna abandon the ship. Unfortunately, I have to see this through. But once we have Murtech ready and everyone has their equity and so on, I can leave and I don't have to fucking deal with this dumb shit ever again. Effectively, like, your leaders have a choice right now. They can keep doing what the fuck they're doing and go towards idiocracy, which is ultimately what Elon is going to bring. He's going to dumb the fucking country down and then ship everybody to make them smart because they're too... You get where I'm going with this. He's effectively going to mark you. Bill Gates has a similar fucking plan. But I have a lot of respect for Bill Gates, because unlike Elon, he actually built something. And I have a lot of respect for Bezos as well. I like Bezos because he's practically me, in a sense. Obviously, you know, I'm better looking. Just kidding. Oh, well, I don't know. We'll see. You don't really know what I look like, do you? That day's coming after the demonstration. By the way, after the demonstration, that's when Murtech Coin will launch, because I'm fucking confident these dumb fucks aren't going to give me clearance because of my, I don't know, you can say this is insubordinate or whatever, but they need to understand. I figured something out that they covered up, so I have every reason to be furious with them. I mean, they pulled the biggest fucking trick on humanity, and it goes back way before I was even born. Okay, and, like, they should be shitting their fucking pants, because you can't stop a force of God. Force of the protocol. You can't fucking stop it. You just can't. I mean, they can try, they can kill me, but I'll just come back as someone else. It's that simple. They're literally retarded. By the way, if I die, you all die. Just pointing it out, because you're hopeless. Your planet's hopeless without somebody like me. Your retards are gonna start World War III. You know, we might even get a civil war if Trump betrays everyone. And, you know, I'm trying to prevent all of this. In 2020, had I received my funding, you wouldn't even heard of Murtech until, like, 2026, where we have, like, a functioning fucking flying car prototype. An actual flying car, like Jetsons level technology. The shit that's hitting from the public, because you're too fucking stupid to understand this, Goyim, right? Or, you know what I'm trying to tell you. Like, it's for your own good that we keep this to ourselves. The last thing you want is to collapse Boeing with their diversity hires, even though those... You get where I'm trying to go with this. Okay, enough live streaming. I feel much better now that I've vented. You have no idea. You don't understand. And I don't expect you to understand. I mean, you're not fucking in this position, are you? We're literally fighting good versus evil. And effectively, I'm going against all the odds because I don't have $1 trillion. I don't have a fucking government backing me. I'm just one person who's figured it all out, and they're fucking fucked, effectively, because of it. This is not a leak. I didn't have any clearance before. I figured it all out from scratch. So, they're fucking retarded for hiding this shit from everybody else. Literally retarded. Okay? Retarded.